We're going to call each of the groups to come report back on what they reached, the recommendations they have agreed upon to the plenary. I think one of the ways by which we can hasten the process is to receive all the reports and then come back to the interventions for those who are not part of that group. So may I just, let's go alphabetically. So group A. For group A? Group 1, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, I'll let you.
Thank you very much. Okay, good morning. I have just been forced to report for this group by the Sparkman, who was our chairman. We are Group 1. We are expected to discuss institutional reforms, civil service, economic analysis, planning and budgeting. And all that responsibility literally summarized the strategic change promise 1, as we have it in the document, where it says strengthen state institutions and enhance just and democratic governance. Our methodology is we looked at the membership, which originally was Kaduna State, Adamawa State, and Ogun State. It was moderated by Senator Adetumbi, and the good lady was our rapporteur, and the development partners with us were the energetic Pillar and SPAC. Okay, so we had a very good team, and I'm happy to report that every single membership of that team contributed very, very actively, and in some instances, very viciously. We took the paper the way it was drafted, with the understanding that the few lines that we will incorporate in this document will enrich it, and for consideration by the PGF Secretariat and its consultants. We looked at the first 100 days, quick wins and immediate actions. The first addition that we had on this as a dynamic document is that governors of the APC should recognize that we have already gone through the 100 days by 50%. And therefore, all the things in the first 100 days, quick wins and immediate actions, should be tabled so that you can actually see the ones that you are on track, the ones that you are behind track, and the ones that you are ahead of schedule. Then we went through the listing as listed here. Institute reforms of the public service. I wished I had the summary from the Secretariat, but I don't. But if I can rightly remember, we digested this and we have put a number of lines into this, which we will share with you in the course of time. We also looked at the establishing a new mindset towards public service and transparency. Again, we have put 1 or 2 comments which we will share with you by the time they're printed. It's very difficult now to tell you what we have actually done. Urgently establish the baseline for government budgeting and improvement. Under this, one of the major additions that we added is that every state should actually attempt to produce a baseline data down to the village, detailing all the sectoral projects and programs, so that we know where we are, and then we can be able to plan where to be and how to get there. We agree with most of what has been listed here, but when it came to the strengthening governance and accountability, we added a number of things, one of which we said there should be, in addition to the oath of secrecy for generic public and civil service in the states, we should also have an oath of anti-corruption, so that people know exactly that they swear that they will never be corrupt in their lifetime. And then we agreed with most of these things, but certainly we've added 1 or 2 things for time. We will print this and share with you. It has here support the federal government in accelerating the implementation of national ID card scheme. I think this is very straightforward. Embark on assessment of judiciary, straightforward. Domesticate the implementation of Freedom of Information Act. We discussed a lot on this, and again we have made 2 or 3 recommendations, one of which is all APC states.
Let her bring the summary so I can read from somewhere.
And we're waiting for her. Okay, from her computer. All right. Yeah, so that all states must endeavor to make sure that we read, understand, and adopt the freedom of information. Madam, are you bringing it? That is the best actually to make this report. And then ensuring the enforcement and full compliance with the fiscal responsibility of government. What is it? Yeah. Okay, to spark that, I wished we had here 10 years variation in poverty incidences in 36 or 22 APC states. So she's acting Adamawa State SSG. Yes, I'll give it to her.
I'll give you permission. Okay, so we
My ID card.
good morning. So there were 3 thematic areas in which we worked. The first was in institutional and public service reforms. And under institutional and public service reforms, we had some recommendations. We said that prior to instituting reforms, a state has to consider some factors. Some of the factors that they should consider are what are the resources available to them, what sources of revenue do they have as a state, and what is their wage bill. This will then help them decide what kind of reforms they should be taking, they should be recommending. So there were a few points of recommendation. The first was to have a review and realignment of ministerial mandates. So in Kaduna State, they had a review of ministerial mandates, which took place in 2012, and this helped the state identify what gaps and opportunities that they had in MDAs. So where there were MDAs who had duplicated roles, they had started as far as 2012 to identify these MDAs and look for ways in which they could be merged to actually make them more effective. So one of the recommendations is to have a review and realignment mandate of ministerial mandates. The second was to have a template for a needs assessment. So each state should have a needs assessment, like a baseline study of their strengths, of opportunities available, of MDAs, which MDAs are currently working, which ones are not, how can they be more efficient. There needs to be a template that all APC states have that they can use to then take to their states and tailor to their specific needs. One of the other things that we recommended which we identified was there needs to be an existence of a strong political will for reform. So there can be committees who have all these mandates and recommendations,